This video is brought to you by none other than Hire Heroes, you guys. Hire Heroes is your one-stop shop when it comes to virtual staffing and making sure that you have qualified talent with your business. One thing that I love about Hire Heroes, you guys, is they've actually gone through the process already of vetting and making sure that your staff member is well trained to best fit your needs. Whether you need help with social media work, posting things on your accounts, responding to people that send messages to your social media accounts, whether you need help with data entry or a multitude of other things that they're qualified to do, Hire Heroes has got you covered. If you're having trouble finding quality talent and number two, affording to be able to run payroll for that talent, Hire Heroes has got you covered with an affordable alternative to have a virtual assistant working for your business. There's a link down in the description of this video to where you can learn more about getting your own VA through Hire Heroes. I certainly recommend it. They're what we use in our business for all of our virtual assistant needs, and you will want to make sure that you check them out today. What's up, guys? Christian Brindle here, and I'm coming to you from my home office on a beautiful Sunday evening. It's about 7:05 my time at the time of recording this, and I just had something kind of swimming around in my head throughout the day, and it was just something that was on my heart that I wanted to kind of spend some time and bring you guys a message about, and that's the importance of a mentor. It might kind of seem relatively obvious that a mentor is going to be important, but I think there's a lot of people in our space that don't realize quite how important a mentor is and can be. No matter where you're at in your journey, by the way, you could be relatively established. You could be making $150 a year already, and you know what you're doing in terms of writing a policy. You know what you're doing in terms of getting in front of enough people. You know what you're doing to get referrals. You know what you're doing to keep your nose clean on compliance. But I feel like even for that person, there's going to be a more significant need for a mentor, and a lot of people that fail to kind of see the importance of that may be why they don't take the next step in their business, right? And so this is going to prevent the person from making 150 to be able to balloon up to 250 in the next year, to be able to go up to 500 in the next couple of years, right? And I know it's something that's talked about a lot, but I don't think you quite understand how integral it's going to be and how humongously important it's going to be, especially in the early years of your development as an agent. I'm going to share with you guys a couple of stories about myself just to kind of, share with you just kind of what mentorship has meant to me in my business and in my life as a whole. People always say, if you figure out the next marketing trend, if you figure out the next hotspot in terms of lead generation or source of new business, that's going to be what you need. People always say if you have the newest quoting software, the newest technology tool, that's going to be all that you need. People are going to say that if you're able to work with carriers and be able to get marketing dollars and co-op, that's all you need. People always say if you get the right kind of lead, that's all that you need. And I would make the argument here for you guys today that having a good, solid mentor that is established, successful, has done the things that you desire and aspire to do in your career, it's going to be worth all of those things that I mentioned before and then some. And why is that? Because all of those things eventually are going to dry up. If you have a new technology tool, eventually it's going to be irrelevant because technology continuously evolves. It will not be the hottest thing forever. If you have a new fresh lead and it's a new type of lead source that only you know about, eventually it's not going to be. Eventually other people are going to figure it out and they're going to essentially ruin it for you and for everybody else, right? Because it's going to become saturated and kind of watered down. If carriers give you marketing money, right? Maybe that dries up. Maybe they decide, hey, we found other ways to kind of invest this money. Anything you can really throw at me, there is going to be either changes in trends or a point where you're going to be able to reach a ceiling with it and you won't be able to continue past it. And this message is more for people that really see themselves with unlimited potential. I myself see myself as someone with unlimited potential. Mentors have meant a lot to me. And so I've always said that the number one most important thing that's going to determine your success in any business, to be frank with you, but especially our business in insurance, it would be having a good, solid mentor. And it could mean that you have a mentor and eventually you outgrow that mentor. Maybe you become more successful than that mentor. The first mentor I ever had in this business was my father. My dad was a agent for many years. His career was spanning 25 years when I was getting into the business at age 20. So his career was older than me by about 5 years when I was even getting into the business myself. So what did that do for me? Any problem that I had early on, right? Maybe my problem was I didn't understand Medicare that well. Because don't get it twisted. If you're a Medicare agent, understanding your product type is probably one of the biggest challenges and obstacles that most people face. It's far more complicated than ACA, in my opinion. I mean, ACA wasn't really much of a thing back then, but you guys get my point. It's far more complicated than final expense and a lot of different types of life insurance. It's far more complicated than all these different things you can be selling, because you have election periods you have to know about. You have different product types you have to worry about. Knowing the different insurance companies and how they operate, their networks, their formularies, their overall benefits, all of that stuff. It's a huge learning curve for anybody. Think about how tough it is for a senior to understand this stuff just well enough to make a decision. For you to be able to be an agent to write the stuff, it's a huge task and a great learning curve for anybody. So what did I have in my father? I had somebody that had seen the market change a couple of times and had seen the product types change a couple of times. And so what I had in that was somebody that I could go to with any question, and he's going to know what I need to do. And that's what a great mentor is going to do. You get stuck in a bind and you're like, listen, I'm not quite sure what to do about this situation. You could ask a Facebook group, but I mean, Facebook groups are something that's available and around today that you guys have that I didn't have as a new agent. But how do you know you're going to get the right answer? Anybody could answer. And truthfully, as somebody that is running multiple Facebook groups, runs an incredibly large and successful Facebook group and 7-figure Medicare agent, spanning about 5,000 members at the time of really recording this, a lot of answers that are given are bad advice and wrong information in these Facebook groups. So, I mean, how do you know you're getting the right information, right? Having a mentor is basically like having access to an encyclopedia of any challenge or any difficult problem or road bump you can run into in your career because they've been through it themselves. It's really preventing you from needing to do hours and hours and hours of research on your own, because you can save yourself that time by running it by your mentor. Or maybe they share something with you in training that they didn't learn until they were 6 years in. And you might have not learned it until you were 10 years in. They share it with you when you're 3 months in. Maybe they share it with you when you're 6 months in. You might not understand the significance of it right then and there at the time of it being shared, but it makes sense to you later and it ends up being transformative, right? This is the power of a mentor. Because any problem that you're dealing with, they are there to essentially be your one-stop shop. They're more valuable than a good lead. They're more valuable than technology tools. They're more valuable than any other commodity you can possibly seek out in business. My father, another thing that he taught me how to do was really to sell. At that point in time in my career, I didn't really know how to make sales. I didn't know how to be a salesperson. I was always charismatic. I always was a good talker. I always articulated myself in a proper manner. But there's such a thing as knowing your audience and knowing how to speak to your audience. And having a seasoned person that has done exactly what you're trying to do has made tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands presentations in their career, that is worth its weight in gold, my friends. So the point of me making this video is people ask me all the time, what is going to be the key to me being able to be successful? What do I have to do to be successful? What do I have to do to to make a six-figure income? What do I have to do to make $500,000 a year? What do I have to do to be a seven-figure earner? The answer I'm going to give you is find great mentors. Seek out mentorship above and beyond anything else. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your career. If you're in the business 10 years and your business isn't the size that you would like it to be, maybe you're disappointed with your overall progress. You're doing okay, but you're staying ahead of the curve. You're staying in business. Your business is growing, but you always had higher expectations. Part of the problem might be that you lack a good, solid mentor. Maybe you ask, maybe you're in this situation. You say, well, I have a great mentor. Well, there's one of two problems. Number one, you're not working hard enough and taking their advice properly and putting it into motion. That's possible. I have people that I'll give advice and they never actually implement it and they never see any change. Is that my fault? No. Or number two, you're getting the wrong advice. You're getting advice from a mentor that maybe they're not as successful as you think. Or maybe they are successful, but they're mildly successful. They're not massively successful. Seek out great mentorship. And that's going to be better than having any one area of your business that you don't have to worry about anymore. Because it's going to help you in a multitude of areas in your business. It's going to help you with marketing. It's going to help you with lead generation. It's going to help you with lead sources. It's going to help you with situational training and knowledge and understanding. It's going to help you with product knowledge. It's going to help you with understanding the whole circle and the whole machine as a whole. That's what a great mentor is going to be for you guys. I've had some great mentors in my life. I have mentors today. And the best thing I can encourage you to do is to seek out mentorship. We've actually put together a program where I believe that you can essentially tap into and gain mentorship from me. And that is in Six Figure Medicare University. We're actually going to throw some links to that down in the description of this video. We'd love to have you in Six Figure Medicare University. We do weekly trainings every Thursday for an hour where we train on something, a high-level topic at that. We answer questions live on the spot. Sometimes we have guest trainers on. The recordings always go up into Six Figure Medicare University in case you ever miss it. That is a form of mentorship, guys. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily the form of mentorship that you need, but if you are struggling right now with having a mentor or lack thereof, that is a solution for you. Consider getting into Six Figure Medicare University. I have crafted it to basically be everything I wish I had as a new agent. I had my father, and that was incredibly helpful for me. But there was a lot of things I had to trailblaze for myself and figure out on my own if I was going to grow my business to be bigger than what he had grown. When I hit the point where I'd hit my ceiling and I've done as much as I can do with what I've learned from him, I had to trailblaze my own way. And everything I've ever done in my business is in this course. It's incredibly, incredibly insightful. Go check it out. We have a month-to-month option. We have a lifetime option. We'd love to see you in there. But whatever you do, if you want to be successful in this space, make sure that you seek out mentorship. There's nothing quite as important to me. It can solve a multitude of issues, and you're going to need guidance. Think about a mentor like a shortcut to essentially prevent you from making every single mistake that they already made. Now, if you're pig-headed, you'll still make the mistakes because you won't listen. Don't be like that. If you're going to have a mentor, be coachable with that mentor. And if you follow that advice and you find the right person to mentor you, the sky's the limit to what you can do in this business, you guys. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of share this with you. It was kind of weighing on my heart a little bit, and I thought it was a message that agents everywhere needed to hear. If you guys agree with me, I'd love to kind of hear your thoughts down in the comment section. Smash the like button if you like this type of content, if this message was helpful for you. And make sure to subscribe for future videos. We never stop pumping them out for you guys. We'll see you next time, guys. Take care, and hope to see you at the top, and hope to see you guys accomplish and achieve a lot of success.